good morning, Yankees universe. Welcome back to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew on this Tuesday, October 24th. Like always, I'm your guy Hector, chilling with my co-host, Mr. TC Stills. TC, how you doing, big fella?
Doing good. Yes, another show Tuesday. Woke up. Hey, can't can't be happy. Cannot be happy if you don't wake up. So
Well, there's a
got some
double
breath.
reason to be happy. There's a double reason to be happy, TC,
Yeah,
because the Houston Astros got their ass spanked by the Texas Rangers.
that's even better. That's what I wanted to see, and I got it. So hey, that was awesome.
It was a battle in the big state, which is Texas, between the Texas Rangers and the Houston, who I hate, Astros. And the Texas Rangers got up 2-0 in the series. Houston made it interesting, but Texas was able to come back these last two games and bring it home. So shout out to the Texas Rangers advancing to the World Series, and we're still waiting on the Phillies and the Diamondbacks, because everybody thought Philly had that in the bag, but the Diamondbacks, they fought back to make it a 7-game series, forcing a game 7. Super excited about baseball right now, because both the AL and the NLCS both went to 7 games. Even though the Yankees aren't in the postseason, you still got to enjoy good baseball, right, TC?
Yeah, if you're a baseball fan, I mean, you can't deny that the 7-game series. Last night's game with Houston, I thought it would have been closer, so it would have been more dramatic. But hey, Houston lost. But going games, 7-game series. I mean, that's in any sport, baseball, basketball, hockey. That's the ultimate. Winning. Yeah. So if you're a fan, you're in. You get some treats here with Game 7 tonight with the Diamondbacks and the Phillies. So buckle up.
Buckle up. It's going to be a good one. But before we continue, I want everybody in the chat, if you guys can take a second, our guy, Dev Finch, he had a passing this weekend. Dev Finch's father passed away. I said it yesterday on the Knicks Morning Brew, but I wanted to say it here on the Yankees Morning Brew. If everybody in the chat, if you guys could just throw the prayer emoji in the chat for our friend, Mr. Dev Finch. Dev, your family is in my thoughts and prayers, brother. Just know that we here with you. When I was going through everything with my father who is still sick right now, coming close to that time, but you guys were all there for me. So I just want to make sure that we're all there for one another whenever we're going through anything. If there's anybody in the chat, if you're dealing with anything that's going on, whether that be something that has to do with your mental health, whether that have to do with a family member or anything like that, feel free to reach out to me so you can have a conversation. Just know I'm here for you, just to be the shoulder that you need to cry on, or if you need an ear just to hear what you're going through, just know that I'm here. So I want to shout out everybody that's in the chat, because I feel that we're a close, tight-knit community over here, right?
Family
between the different communities. Definitely a family. So just want to shout out everybody in the chat. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to my guy DJ Stills, who's in the building. Stills, how you doing? I'm dealing with bills. Does that count? Stills, if you want, I could throw you some chilitas, right? I got a few coins that I could throw your way. Shout out to my guy Razil the Great, that's in the building. I appreciate you. Anthony Garcia, mi hermano de la República Dominicana. Anthony, what it do? And of course, my guy Medina, mi hermano de la isla, Anthony Medina. How you doing? Anna Maria's in the building. Good morning. My guy G-Man's in the building. G-Man for life. How you doing? Jonathan Taylor's in the building. Is it the actor Jonathan Taylor? I'm not too sure. But we got our friend Jonathan as well in the building. Salute, salute, salute. My guy L.I. Yankee King, the only troll in the Yankee universe we acknowledge is our friend L.I. L.I., how you doing? And everybody else that's in the chat.
He's still part of the family.
Alan Landsman, NFE, Dan C, Sean Browning. We appreciate all of you guys for showing up. And we got 24 of you fine people in the building. So smack that like button. And my sweetheart, the drunk, is in the building. I love that name right there. Salute to you, sweetheart. Hope all is well. Uncle Grandpa Tats. You're not sleeping, Tats? You guys were up to like what time last night? You guys are crazy.
Yeah, they're up all night.
Shout out to Uncle Grandpa Tats. And of course, my guy AK-47 with the banana clip. How you doing? But TC, let's before we get into our first topic, right? Because we got a few topics lined up. We're going to talk about the Reggie Jackson stuff that came out yesterday, Alex Rodriguez from over the weekend, and of course, how Steinbrenner is going to be talking to the fan base and addressing the media after the World Series. So get your popcorn, fasten your seatbelt, because that's going to be a trip. But TC, before we get into any of our topics, I just want to point out to everybody, if you guys missed the debut episode of the YANKEES Morning Brew Season 2 yesterday with myself, Celso, Phil, and Jerry Ferrara, make sure you watch it because we had a great time. It was just laughs and giggles all morning talking about our Knicks. Shout out to our special guest, Mr. Bill Pito from the MSG Network. It was a great conversation. TC, any other words before we jump into our first topic?
No, I've been saying it from the beginning. You guys, it's great chemistry. You guys could talk about anything. It's such a great show. You guys are I mean, just do a great job. There's nothing else I can say. You do a great job. If you're missing the show, you're missing out. Stay tuned. The next one, you never know. These guys with their little surprises and surprise guests, and it's fun stuff.
Definitely. And for everybody out there that is a Knicks fan, I will be attending opening night at Madison Square Garden tomorrow. Shout out to the folks from the Omni Knick family, because, I got my tickets through them. So shout out to the Knicks Omni fam. So I'll be out there in front of Madison Square Garden. But let's jump into the first topic, Mr. TC. And we got to talk about Reggie Jackson, because Reggie Jackson came out yesterday or the day before. He was on a pregame for FS1. And according to Brandon Cuddy, shout out to Brandon Cuddy online, he said Reggie Jackson said regarding his Yankee departure in 2021 when he was a consultant with the front office, we didn't get a chance to be involved in some of the say-so, and our opinions really didn't get any value, right? My guy Brendan on Twitter pointed this out. It's a shame the way the Yankees treated Reggie Jackson. He's doing a great thing for the Astros, pushing for diversity in the front office. The Yankees didn't want to listen to him. Know that before calling him a traitor or wanting his number unretired, which I think is bogus. I think a lot of people online were saying that he is still a Yankee at heart, 100%. But what Reggie Jackson basically said is what us in the fan base we've been calling for. TC, I know you've been saying that we need to get these Yankee legends around the coaching staff, around these players, so they could give them some advice. But according to Reggie Jackson, their word means little to nothing when it comes to the front office, when it comes to allowing them to talk to the players. It seems like the Yankees do not want to lean towards their legends to try to fix the situation. But I think that's the total opposite. Reggie Jackson, he goes to Houston. Of course, Houston has their drama or whatever, but Reggie Jackson, they won a World Series when Reggie Jackson was there, right? So obviously something that he said clicks. TC, what's your thoughts on it? Folks in the chat, let me know as well. What's your thoughts on Reggie Jackson calling out the New York Yankees? My sweetheart said, dropping Reggie bars, 100%. Go ahead, TC.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame. I mean, Reggie knows a little bit about hitting. I mean, this guy was a legend in New York and Oakland, and I mean, wherever he went. I mean, to not listen to these guys, what they have to say, whether it's Reggie Jackson, whether it's, we've had, other, Ron Guidry is in the, in an organization, Willie Randolph was still around. We've had some ex, legend Yankees around this team, and to not listen to them and their, what they bring as far as, whether they want to bring in, this type of player or make this move or have this philosophy. It's a shame because I mean, we're talking backstage. It's just a bunch of suits running this team. They have no idea about baseball. They've lost touch with reality. That's what I feel. And this is just another example, when they let Reggie go to, we're not listening to you. We got our own philosophy and we're going to go with it. And where's that got you since 2009, guys?
Nothing. Donuts. Nothing. And I've seen some people speculating on what could have been the issue. And a lot of people was pointing to Dylan Lawson, because if you're someone like Reggie Jackson, you have a pedigree when it comes to hitting, and you got this guy named Dylan Lawson trying to teach his philosophy, you're going to clash heads. And I guess Reggie Jackson was outspoken about the hitting philosophy and the hitting approach, but the front office didn't want to hear it, and they let Reggie go. Look what happens a year later. We get rid of Dylan Lawson. We bring in a guy like Sean Casey, who was basically what Reggie Jackson was saying. You need someone with experience to be the hitting coach for these players, but they didn't listen to Reggie Jackson. They went another year with Dylan Lawson. Dylan Lawson got fired in the middle of the season, and then they finally bring in Sean Casey.
Yeah. I mean, that's egg on their face. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
and I don't think there's anybody out there. My guy Razil the Great said it in the chat. His name is Mr. October. Like, hello, there's a reason his name is Mr. October. But I don't think there's anyone in the chat that wants Reggie Jackson to be the GM of the team. None of us is saying that.
No.
So I've seen a lot of people saying he shouldn't be in the front office and people shouldn't listen to his opinion. No one's saying that Reggie Jackson should be the GM or the president of baseball operations. What we're saying is he's the perfect consultant. Bring in CC Sabathia to be a consultant. Bring in Derek Jeter. Bring in Alex Rodriguez, Jorge Posada. Bring in these former legends that won championships here, not one, but multiple championships with the Yankees as consultant. What's this going to hurt? You're bringing in a guy like Dylan Lawson to be the hitting coach that never played at the major league level or even AAA. My man graduated from Transylvania University for a reason. Go ahead, TC.
Yeah, it's just the wrong direction. They just instead of listening to pro players, legend players, I mean Yankee players, and what they bring, you know, their experience. They've been in the batter's box. Dylan Lawson, we've said, has never been in a major league game in the batter's box. You know, these guys have gone through playoffs, championship, World Series. I mean, they know a little thing about baseball. A little bit, you know. We're not saying that we want them as GM, but bring some guys around that have experience to talk to these players, or because you can see that the feel around this team, it's not the same. They just go about their business and just like you know, they don't have that like drive and desire like Jeter and O'Neill and, you know, a Reggie Jackson or, you know, Chris Chambliss, those guys, you know, Thurman Munson. They need some veteran presence in this dugout. They need Aaron Boone needs help. Aaron Boone needs a veteran presence as a assistant coach.
ASAP.
So it's a shame. It's a shame how they treated him, and a lot of the Yankee veteran players almost have the same sentiment as Reggie's. Like they don't want to come back because of the way the front office is running things.
And when you listen to a lot of the former players, like we'll get to the A-Rod stuff with WFAN, but when you listen to the former players, and also we got 33 of you fine people in the building. If you guys can, please smack that like button. Shout out to my guy 01LS1Z2ADABX. How you doing? But when you listen to Reggie Jackson, and he said that former players like A-Rod and Jeter want to give their input, but the Yankee organization is turning them away. That right there, as a fan, it got to make you a little bit nervous and got to make you a little bit cautious to be like, what is actually going on? But when you listen to these former players like a Reggie Jackson, like a Alex Rodriguez, Derek Jeter, whenever they talk about the Yankee organization, it seems like it's directed in one direction. It's not directed in Aaron Boone's direction. It's directed in the direction of Brian Cashman and Randy Levine. That's where it's directed at, because A-Rod on WFAN came out and said, listen, you can't blame Boone. If you want to talk about Boone and how he handled the bullpen, and I was surprised that A-Rod even said it. You could tell that he listens to us on the podcast. He said, if you want to criticize Boone for how he manages the bullpen, fine, criticize him for that. But when it comes to the roster construction and the lineups he has, he can only do with what he's given. He doesn't have that much when it comes to talent to put out there. So yes, the reason Franchi Cordero's out there is because Brian Cashman gave him that player. That's the only reason Franchi Cordero's out there. It's the only reason IKF was out there. It's the only reason we had Joey Gallo is because of Brian Cashman. Aaron Boone didn't trade for Joey Gallo. Aaron Boone didn't trade for Josh Donaldson or IKF. It all comes from the person who constructs the roster.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, you nailed it. I mean, there's nothing Aaron Boone can do but just play the guys he has. He has no choice. And you know, it goes to show Cashman, his ego has gotten to him. You know, he doesn't want to listen to other people, you know, especially the fans. The fans that we've been screaming for, just clean house, bring in some legitimate, you know, professional major league players.
And if he's hilarious, I'm just my fault. He said, I still say the Yankees bring back Frenchie. I wouldn't be surprised.
They probably
NFB.
will.
I wouldn't be surprised. My fault, TC. Go ahead, bro.
No, he's hanging around. You know, Cashman's got him on speed dial. Like any second
right now, working out.
Yeah.
He's in the Tampa complex working out. Go ahead.
Right.
Bro.
Yeah. He's So no, but Cashman thinks he knows who to bring in. He's going to convert these guys into, you know, amazing players. And yeah, they were just DFA'd and or you know, thrown out in the trash. And it just sickens us, you know, frustrates us day after day after day when we see this team, this multi-billion-dollar team, and put out those type players. It's a team full of bench player cast-off, and I don't think I've ever seen a team like this. I mean, even in the 80s when they were bad, they had star players. It's sad.
And you know, and like I said, we're going to bring up the A-Rod stuff, but another thing that A-Rod talked about was he said Yankee fans aren't stupid. He said Yankee fans are very smart baseball fans. So if you put out a lineup or if you put out a roster, Yankee fans, especially this chat, Yankee fans are going to break it down and tell you where you went wrong at. And it seems like over the past 3 years, everything that us as a fan base was upset about, they got it wrong. Josh Donaldson got it wrong. IKF, you got it wrong. Aaron Hicks, you got it wrong. Gallo, you got it wrong. Trading Jordan Montgomery, you got it wrong. Even though I keep on saying that last year in the postseason, we don't make it past Cleveland without Harrison Bader. I know that. But trading Jordan Montgomery, who was the winning pitcher for the Texas Rangers last night, that right there has to be the biggest sore thumb in Brian Cashman's resume, especially over the past 5 years.
And not getting Corey Seager as well. That's another one. That's another one. And
Corey Seager.
And Bryce Harper.
There's so many mistakes.
A lot.
At this point, the mistakes outweigh.
I don't have enough fingers to count.
But not only that, TC, but normally you could balance the mistakes with the stuff that actually worked out. Recently, there's been more mistakes than there's been actual good stuff.
That's a fact. 100%. Terrible moves.
If people want to say on Twitter, oh, it's okay that he didn't go after Bryce Harper and that may have been a bad move, but we got Luke Voigt, we got we got Kenyon Middleton, we got Scott Afros, we got all these other bullpen arms that turned out to be good. That's the excuse we're making. We didn't get Bryce Harper, but we got Luke Voigt for 2 years and he was good. We got Middleton at the deadline.
Bryce Harper and then those guys. Hello. I mean, come on.
Like Razel said, Scott who?
These guys they're not even on the team. We haven't seen them in over a year. All the guys he got at the deadline.
Even to our criticisms, right? And Medina makes a great point. If we're being honest here when it comes to Monty would not have been successful if he was still here with the Yankees. Right. Leaving the Yankees was the best thing that can happen to Monty. 100%. 100. And that should be a reflection on the organization as a whole, not just the front office, but the front office and their coaching decisions and hirings over the past few years.
Yeah. Sonny Gray as well. Another one who left and did better.
You brought him in. You try to switch him up in the middle of the season. You didn't even wait to the off season to work on that. Normally, that's what you do in the off season. You didn't do that. You brought him in and you said, you know what? Let's go. Let's rely on your breaking pitch. Stop throwing your fastball as much. Even though Sonny Gray was a fastball pitcher in Oakland, and that's how he was able to be effective. But come to the Yankees, no, we're gonna switch it up. We need you to throw more breaking pitches.
And that's confusing to me because Matt Blake, I mean, they've turned a lot of pitchers around, but I want to say it's been more with the bullpen pitchers than the starting pitchers. They've ruined starting pitchers.
Garrett Cole was already Garrett.
Garrett
Cole. So
Cole, they don't need to talk to Garrett Cole.
You know,
Leave him alone.
You actually messed up Garrett Cole last year with the amount of home runs he gave up last year, the most in his career. So Garrett Cole wasn't listening to you.
I think he tuned them out. Yeah, I said I'm done with them.
He definitely did. Before we continue, let's highlight some of the chats that are in the building. My guy D-Rod's in the building. D-Rod, how you doing? Good morning, you, my guy. Good to see you, big fella. Dan C said the Yankees wanted Monty to throw more curveballs, while Maddox with the Rangers told him to throw more four-seamers. And Mike Maddox, Greg Maddox's brother, was always a pitching coach that I wanted the Yankees to go out to get.
Yeah.
For some reason, the Yankees just never wanted to hire him or call him up. Look what happens when he goes to Texas. What happens when Bochy goes to Texas? Bochy was sitting at home for the past several years, at home, enjoying that SSI money coming through the mail. But he came back to baseball, brings the Texas Rangers to the World Series. First time they've been to the World Series in the past 10 years.
That's the problem. The Yankees don't want a veteran manager who knows how to manage the game. They want a yes man who just looks at the books and does what the front office tells them to do. That's what Aaron Boone is. I swear, the guy knows more about baseball than he is showing. I gotta know that. And the bonehead moves he's making it according to their analytics, and Cashman and Levine and Fishman or whoever, is typing it up, or the analytic nerds or whatever. So Boone knows more than that. He's got to know. He's got to know how to manage better than that. And that's Bruce Bochy. And they will never bring in a guy like that unless Cashman's gone and pretty much the whole front office is gone.
My guy Sean Browning, shout out to Sean Browning as well, said Scott Brosius was a bargain deal. That's a great deal. That's a great deal. But because we got Scott Brosius in the 90s, right? In the 90s, before there was any smartphones, right? Before we got, just because we got Scott Brosius doesn't excuse everything that's going on, all the negatives. I see what you're saying about Scott Brosius, Sean, but that doesn't excuse all the negatives that's been happening, especially over the past few years. Shout out to my guy, Mr. Damian Serrano in the building, who says, the more I hear all the BS about the Yankees, about how the Yankees are running this organization, the further away I am from believing in them. And this is the thing. Shout out to Damian for a great chat as well. This is the thing. We're not even in the off season. The World Series is not even over, but it seems like every day something comes out about the Yankees that just makes us more frustrated, right? Of course, we understand if you put the Yankees next to an article, you're going to have clicks. I get that. I understand that. But from the Bryce Harper stuff, right, to the Sonny Gray, to the Jordan Montgomery, right, to the Nathan Eovaldi stuff, this entire postseason has been a postseason where people step back and they point their fingers at the Yankees and they laugh. Derek Jeter even said it. He's like, yo, ever since doing these shows with you guys on Fox Sports, he's like, I've seen more highlights of the Red Sox winning than anything else. Like, I haven't seen hardly any highlights from the Yankees. And it's true.
Yeah, Derek Jeter real quick, we missed a super chat by Ronald.
I want to shout out my guy, Ronald Hansley, real quick. Yeah, shout out my guy, Ronald Hansley Jr. with the 1999 super chat. Ron, I'll be with you tomorrow at the Garden. What's good, my Yanks Morning Brew family? Listening to Derek Jeter break down these playoff games as an analyst is showing me more and more that we need him as a vital role in our organization. We need Captain Clutch. Ron, 100%, Ronald, 100%.
Yeah,
but
that's what we're
for some reason, the Yankees don't like to listen to their legends.
No,
they don't like to listen to them. Now they brought in Andy Pettitte. Let's see if they actually listen to Andy Pettitte. Let's see what Andy Pettitte does as a coach. But I want to see Jorge. I want to see Jeter. I want to see A-Rod. I want to see them at spring training. I want to see Willie. I want to see Reggie Jackson. How? You want to make things right? You want to make things all copacetic with the fan base? Have Reggie Jackson at spring training. Do what you got to do to bring him.
How about David Cone? David Cone would be perfect, I think, in there as well.
I've been saying David Cone should be a pitching coach for this team. I've been saying it for the longest. You know,
Yeah.
listening to the broadcast when you have
Mhm.
David Cohn, amazing. I'm not sure if you remember, but I know it was a few years ago. He left the Yes broadcasting booth, but I always loved David Cohn and Al Leiter in the booth with Michael
Yeah.
Kay. Hearing
Mhm.
Al Leiter and
Al Leiter,
David
very
Cohn
good,
talk
yes.
about pitching, that's why I
Mhm.
believe Al Leiter's son, Jack Leiter, with the Rangers, is probably going to be one of the best pitchers in years to come. He has some struggles in the minors this year, but having his father break down, listen, you don't
Mhm.
have to throw
Oh, he'll be
100
right.
miles per
They'll get
hour.
him right, yeah.
They'll get him right. Navigate east to west. Listening to Al and David Cohn, always loved those back in the day. Listening to
Yeah, the
Yankee
Rangers
games.
are going to be good for years. Don't forget, Jacob deGrom didn't pitch at all, and they're in the World Series. So
you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy, TC? You know what's crazy? Seeing a
Yeah.
team, right, that signed a free agent in the offseason. That free agent gets injured. And what did that team do? They added. They went out there and traded at the trade deadline.
Yep.
Anytime they had an injury, they traded and they replaced that injury. They didn't say, oh, we got to wait till he comes back. Oh, let's see what happens. No. But when the Yankees get injuries, it's, oh, we have to wait. We got to wait what happens at the trade deadline. We don't need a left fielder. We're not going to sign no one. Let's wait to the trade deadline to see who's available.
No, they pick up DFA'd guys rather than go out and get the proven players. That's their patch, and it's been that way for quite a few years now.
And I 100% agree with you. Bernie doesn't get the love that Jeter gets, but he deserves it 100%. When you look at it, Bernie Williams has the second most home runs in or is in top 5 when it comes to RBIs in the postseason.
Yeah.
He's third.
I'd love to see Bernie in there.
He's third. It's Manny Ramirez, Jose Altuve, Bernie Williams, and Derek Jeter when it comes to home runs in the postseason.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'd love to see Bernie join the organization, but he's got other things to do. He's a jazz guitarist. He's got other things to do. He's not gonna be bogged down with these clowns.
LA Yankee King saying the Columbus Blue Jackets will win a Stanley Cup before the Yankees win a World Series. Listen, I don't know about hockey, but I'm listening to you, LI, when it comes to that one. But let's switch it up because we've been teasing about it. We got to talk about Alex Rodriguez because, like I said, Alex Rodriguez, he was on WFAN. He was with Evan and Tiki Barber. I think it was Friday that he was on, but A-Rod wasn't holding it back. A-Rod wants his number retired by the Yankees. Folks in the chat, let us know about that. But at the same time, A-Rod was very critical of the Yankees. A-Rod said that the Yankees don't bring him around because he is too critical on the organization, right? My guy Joe Randazzo said, Alex Rodriguez said on WFAN, he wants his number retired by the Yankees. He was also asked if he was mad about Joey Gallo wearing his number 13. And in the middle of his nervous A-Rod laugh, he said it didn't make him happy. Look, the man has his baggage, but he deserves his number retired. Folks in the chat, what are you thinking? Personally, me, when you look at his numbers and what he did on the field with the New York Yankees, 2 MVPs, a World Series, an amazing 2009 World postseason stretch. When you look at all of that, yes, he deserves his number retired. He deserves to be a legend with the Yankees. But when you look at everything else that was attached to it, the suspension, the PED allegations, getting popped for PEDs while playing for the Yankees, trying to sue the Yankees at the same time, trying to sue Major League Baseball, all that other stuff, the Yankees aren't going to retire his number because of all that other stuff. Like I said, me personally, off of what he did on the field, he deserves his number 13 retired with the rest of those numbers. But because of what happened off the field with the Yankees, they're not going to retire his numbers. What's your thought, TC?
Yeah. So how many years did A-Rod play with the Yankees? 7?
From 2004 to 2016 from when he was forced to retire. So 12 years, if I'm not mistaken.
12 years. Oh, wow. Where have I been? Yeah, I guess I forgot some of those years that it just that he sucked all the time and he grounded into like 50 double plays a year. Yeah, this is a tough one for me. I mean, yeah, he did win a championship in 09. I mean, yeah, he's done enough for this organization to really have his number retired. I mean, I think, but yeah, I think you nailed it. The other stuff, away from baseball,
Burns his bridges, like Medina
yeah,
said.
he really did. He really did. And then the allegations with the steroids and ratting out on people and yeah, there's a lot of baggage with A-Rod, and I don't think the Yankees want to be tied to him as a retired legend. Him compared to like a Don Mattingly or a Reggie or a Derek Jeter. I don't think he's in the same legend status. His stats might be different. It might say a different story, but I think you're right. I think it's all the off the field antics and stuff that's going on. Yeah.
Pete Rose got his number retired by the Cincinnati Reds, right? If I'm not mistaken, I think Pete Rose was inducted into the Reds Hall of Fame. And Pete Rose, not the gambling stuff, but all the other stuff that Pete Rose was involved in, was a disgusting human being with all that other stuff, with all those other allegations. And he got his number retired, right? So I think when the water sets, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. Maybe if one of the Steinbrenner's nephews take over the team in the next 10 to 15 years, I can see his number being retired when A-Rod is in his 60s or in his 70s. I don't think the Yankees, because the Yankees are going to be petty, I don't think the Yankees will retire his number while he's in his 40s right now and let him enjoy that for the next 20 years. They're going to make him wait until he is 60 or 70 years old before they retire his number, and he'll be crying at the stadium. They'll have the documentaries and everything like that. So they'll make A-Rod wait until he's at least 70 years old or 60 years old.
Yeah.
And like Brazil said, A-Rod is not on the Pete Rose level of crazy.
Oh, no,
absolutely. No. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anna Marie says retire Guardy's number 11. They did him dirty with no proper send-off, but can make up for it. Now, I don't think they'll retire his number, but we should have a Brett Gardner day. Brett Gardner should be acknowledged. I agree with that. I don't think they'll retire his number, but I think they'll acknowledge Brett Gardner and they'll have a Brett Gardner day. I'd rather see Bernie Williams 51 retire before Brett Gardner's number 11 retire.
They haven't retired Bernie Williams' number yet?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. Ichiro wore Bernie Williams' number when he was here.
That's a travesty. That number needs to be retired. I mean, most people in here, Bernie Williams is their favorite player. Him or Jeter. I mean, it's how could you not retire that guy's number?
Sean Brown has said
that's
Bernie
a sin.
Williams' number is retired. No, it's not retired. Hold on.
I think it is. It's got to be.
No, I was just in Monument Park saying it.
Oh,
yeah,
it is retired. I saw it. I was in Monument Park when Yeah.
It was what it was. Ichiro was the last player to wear it. I'm sorry, Sean. You corrected me on that.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'm saying, come on, that's Bernie Williams.
Okay, well, Matsui's then. Matsui's 55 over Gardner's number 11.
Yeah. I don't think so. He was a long-standing Yankee, but I don't think he did enough to get his number retired. I mean, you got to. It's not just if you're a Yankee, like then what are you gonna do? Retire Higashioka's number because he was with the Yankees for a long time. You don't just get your number retired for just being a Yankee.
That's what I say. He should be acknowledged. And when it comes
to true.
When it comes to Higashioka, I think Higashioka should be able to become a coach at the minor league levels before coming up to the majors and being a coach at the major
100%.
league level. Because I think Higashioka, as a catcher, he is knowledgeable about the game. And Austin Wells talked about how Kyle Higashioka was able to help him transition to the major league level when it comes to catching. So I can see Kyle Higashioka being a catcher with the Yankees in the future. And also, we got 50 of y'all in the building, so smack that like button for you guys. But yeah, go ahead, TC.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's just these guys should be acknowledged as in the organization. The long-standing Higashioka, the Brett Gardners, those type guys that have been here a long time, but they just didn't, they didn't put up the numbers that like an A-Rod did or a Jeter or a Mattingly. I mean, that's what gets your number retired. and winning a championship. It doesn't hurt. I know Mattingly didn't win a championship, but the guy, I mean, during that time period, he was one of the best players in baseball, and everybody. I mean, in that 95, I don't know if you go back and watch the 95 series against Seattle.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of the highlights and rewatched
when he hit the home run after Ruben Sierra. I mean, he blew the roof off. There's no roof, but he blew it off of Yankee Stadium, and that's how much the fans loved him. They were pulling for him. The whole city was pulling for that guy, and it's just a shame he missed out. But no, I mean, you got to put up numbers like that, and just making it to the Yankees doesn't get your number retired. So,
yeah.
So, but I do agree. Gardner does need to have a special day, and he was a gritty player, and he had some great moments with the team. But unfortunately, he's just not one of those legendary players.
I think as time goes on, right, because the Yankees have so many numbers that are retired, they're running out of numbers. I think as the time goes on, the criteria is going to be raised when it comes to what do you need to have your number retired by the team. Like right now, I can say very confidently that Judge's 99 is going to be retired one day.
Oh, easy.
And also, Garrett Cole's number 36 is going to be retired one day.
Yeah,
I'm confident to say those two numbers in the future are going to be retired. I don't know about Anthony Volpe as of now. I don't even know about Jason Dominguez as of now. He just started. They just started, right? So we don't know about them. But we talk about current Yankees, I could definitely say very confidently, like Judge's 99 and Garrett Cole's 36 will be in Monument Park one day, no matter what happens, even if they don't, knock on wood, even if they don't win a World Series. I'm confident to say that those two numbers will be retired. Cole number 45, I mean, not 36.
Yeah, no, I agree. There's nobody on this team other than them two that I see as being retired. I mean, Rizzo hasn't put in enough time yet. There's Glaber might be traded, so I don't think he's not a candidate.
No.
Volpe's just starting. Dominguez just starting. There's nobody else really. Stanton. No, there's no way he gets his number retired.
And like Anna Marie said, number 22 is waiting for Soto. Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That would be retired. We retire right now.
We'll definitely get into the Yamamoto conversations, but shout out to my brother, Mr. 19 Con-Man in the building. Patrick Sinclair's in the building. Salute, 3 capital S's. D, I think you have a little yogi in you. You talk about me? Yeah, I may have a little yogi in me. Mistakenly say
Hector, do you think if we told Juan Soto, you come to the Yankees, we'll retire your number immediately, you think that would draw him a little bit?
Listen, this is the thing that no, I see what you're saying, but Juan Soto and I had the same kind of take when it came to Shohei Ohtani. But Juan Soto, no matter where he goes, he's going to sign a massive contract.
Yeah.
Right. That's a given. That's going to be a historic contract, right? So what can teams offer you besides that contract? When you look at your legacy, right? The Yankees, out of every other team in Major League Baseball, has the most upside to offer you when it comes to legacy, right? You sign with the Yankees, your name is automatically thrown in there when it comes to conversations with Lou Gehrig, with Mickey Mantle, with Joe DiMaggio, now Aaron Judge. Your name is going to be in those conversations. You go to Chicago, who's you going to be in conversations with? Joey Gallo? No, Andrew Benintendi, right? Anthony Rizzo. I love Anthony Rizzo, but it's not on the same level, right? So if you go to other teams, what do they have to offer you besides the massive contract? You go to the Dodgers. The Dodgers have a rich organization, a rich history. Yep. They aren't the Yankees.
Mostly from Brooklyn, though. But
mostly from Brooklyn.
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, Juan Soto's got to be looking at his options and see the Yankees just staring at his face like, what are the possibilities? I mean, they're endless of him joining the Yankees.
Unpopular opinion, Gio said there are legendary Dodgers and Red Sox players.
Yeah.
But if you were to make the Yankees Mount Rushmore when it comes to players, and you compare that to the Dodgers and the Red Sox, I think everybody would say the Yankees Mount Rushmore is a lot stronger than the other teams. Right?
Yeah.
That's fair to
No,
say,
by
right,
far.
TC?
I mean, the fan base, like we were saying, the Dominican fan base would go nuts and bananas over there. I mean, the media, it's the biggest market. And, you know, he brings his swag. And can you just imagine the excitement, the buzz? I mean, talk about sell out every single, it'd be standing room only. I mean, there'd be people, the streets, the parking lots, the everything around the stadium, the subways would be buzzing. The city would just be on fire if Juan Soto came here. And I mean, it's a no-brainer to me.
You guys, as Yankee fans, we all saw. I was going to say saw. We all are witnessing what the Philadelphia Phillies are doing with their fan base. You get Juan Soto to the Bronx, it'll be on that type of energy and level.
Yes.
Just because of how much Juan Soto will bring to the team, especially the local neighborhood when it comes to everyone from Washington Heights, everyone from Inwood, everyone from Dykeman. Come on.
Yeah, it would be Razil says Washington Heights will be called Soto Heights.
Yeah. Absolutely. Listen, I live up the block from Quisqueya Plaza right there. I guarantee you one of the plazas next to it will be called Juan Soto Way. I guarantee you that, Razil, 100%. But Uncle Tat says, what is your Mount Rushmore for MLB organizations? That's a good. We talking about currently Mount Rushmore, because if I had to pick 5 currently, Yankees aren't going to be in that top 5.
I think he means all time. Probably all time.
All time definitely would be the Yankees. Definitely would be the Dodgers. Definitely the Chicago Cubs. I gotta throw in the Boston Red Sox just because. And that last team, let's see.
Maybe
for that
Cardinals?
last team, I didn't say the Cardinals. If I didn't say the Cardinals, I would say the Cardinals as 5.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with you on that.
Boom.
Yeah.
Medina says, facts, Hector. I grew up in Washington Heights / Inwood, and it would be insane. Medina, I live right up the block from 207 and 204, bro. I'm literally right there. It will be ridiculous if he's in New York City. It'll be ridiculous. My guy Pop said Yankees, Dodgers, Red Sox, St. Louis, and the Cubs.
Yep.
So we swapped the Cubs and the Red Sox and St. Louis. Yeah, definitely be Yankees, Dodgers, Red Sox, Cardinals, and the Cubs. Like definitely has to be the top 5.
Yeah, currently the Yankees wouldn't even be top 10.
Yeah, I would say an honorary mention. I would have to say the New York Mets as an honorary mention.
Ooh, wow.
An honorary mention. Don't get too excited. All right. And I would have to say the Kansas City Royals. Can't forget the Royals.
For Mount Rushmore?
Just because of the battles that the Yankees and the Royals had in the 80s. Are you kidding me? That rivalry between the Yankees and the Royals, you're going to say that wasn't a good rivalry?
Yeah, it was, but I don't think it was a long-standing. It wasn't. I don't think it gets them to Mount Rushmore. How many championships do they win? None.
Oh, we going by championships? Because the Cubs are on that list and they only won 1. They won the same amount of championship as the Royals. I'm talking about like legacy. Like I'm talking about legacy teams. That's what I'm talking about for me.
Okay.
And that's why I said honorary mentions. Okay, TC, don't beat me.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. I'm not gonna beat you. Sorry. I'll leave you.
I want to shout out my guy Chris the Flash that's in the building, and also I'll be throwing the link for the open panel because we will have the open panel momentarily. I'll be throwing that link into the chat. But we got one more topic to talk about before we bring up the open panel and have you guys talk about our topics. But we got 50 people in the building. Fellas, smack that like button for your boys.
NFE, good one there. What about the Reds? NFE's got a point.
Ooh,
forgot about the Reds.
Ooh, I forgot about the Reds. All right.
I say Reds over Kansas City.
I would say Reds over Kansas City and the Mets.
Yeah.
I would say over both of those teams. You're right, NFE. That was a good one. And the Royals, they have 2 championships.
Yeah.
I thought they had one.
I think so.
Okay.
Was it 85? Did they win in 85?
They did win in the 80s, and they won one before
and then
the
just
Cubs
recently,
won one. Yeah,
15, 14, 16,
one
I don't know,
around there. 85 and 15. Thank you, Scott.
Yeah.
Shout out to Scott as well. Fair brunch in the chat.
Yes, thank you, Scott.
So we got to talk about this press conference that Hal Steinbrenner will be happening. Apparently, Hal Steinbrenner, my guy Yankee 22891 says Hal Steinbrenner is to hold a press conference soon, possibly this week. I don't think it'll be. I think it'll be after the World Series. Yankees team captain is also to be meeting with Brian Cashman and Hal Steinbrenner as well. Chris Kreisner, we all know Chris Kreisner from The Athletic on Twitter, said they did a survey last week, and the results are in. Over 5,000 responses. They show little belief in Brian Cashman and Hal Steinbrenner's management, neutral feelings on Aaron Boone. Your number one free agent topic. Make sure you guys go watch, go read that thread to get all the information. But what are we gonna do, TC? What are we gonna do? They told us that something was gonna happen with an audit.
Right.
That ain't happened yet, right? So now apparently the fans got upset. And now Hal Steinbrenner will be addressing the media and addressing the fan base. I ask you this. What else can he say? What else can he say?
Yeah, he's backtracking, then he's gonna, come out and say, it's what do they say? It's damage control. Is that what Hal's doing? But the face right there that Aaron Judge is making, I think that's the face that we're all making, like, wait a minute. Are you serious, or are you bullshitting us like this? How can we take these guys serious? I mean, this double talk and, oh yeah, we're gonna do this change and we're gonna make changes. Oh, we're not gonna make changes. Oh, I mean, what is he gonna come out and say? I mean, we all want you to come out and say the Yankees suck. How about that? The Yankees suck. We need change. Can you come out and admit that? Yeah, Brian Cashman made 100 mistakes. Okay, we're gonna fix that. Not, oh well, we're doing great. Everything's status quo. We just everybody had a bad year and we had injuries and the roof was open and all these excuses. We're tired of the excuses. Let's come on, just give it to us, straight, right?
Yeah,
that's
Li,
all we
I'm gonna
want.
get to your super chat in a sec, Li. I just want to finish this conversation. But Li Yankee King said, question for all Yankee fans who brag about 27 rings. How can you have an emotional connection to all 27 rings when you didn't see it all in person? Li, saying that is like saying, Hector, how can you be emotionally attached to not having hair when you don't have hair on your head? Guess what? I had hair one time in my life, Li. So yes, I have an emotional connection to it. The Yankees won these championships. I probably wasn't alive to see a majority of them, but I had family members who were alive to see a lot of them. And I hear a lot of the stories from my uncles, from my cousins. So we have that emotional connection from the people that were here before us. It's all passing down tradition as you're passing down your fandom to the folks that are in your family. Am I right or wrong, TC?
No, you're right. I mean, you're a fan of the organization. Yeah, we shouldn't keep boasting about 27 rings. We haven't been there since 2009, and I get it, Li. But go brush your teeth, by the way. So I get what he's saying.
No, I get it.
We can't boast about that because a lot of fans, we got 27 championships. What do you got, Houston? You got 1, you got 2. I mean, you can't compare organizations like that. It's what have you done for me lately? I get it, Li. We're trying to get there. We're all supporting the Yankees. We're trying to, trying to make our voices heard. So hopefully there's some change. Hopefully this is the year.
Like Scott says, how can you be attached to being an American when you haven't lived 248 years ago?
Yeah, right.
Oh man, facts. But no, you said it perfectly, TC. We haven't run anything recently, and I know Li, you're younger than us, right? You're younger than me. You're younger than TC. You're younger than a lot of people in the chat.
He's half
Li
my age.
probably. I don't think Li was even alive when the Yankees dynasty was going on in the 90s. So for me, Li, in 96, I was 7 years old, right? So when that dynasty was going on, I was in my elementary going to junior high school days. That's when I fell in love with the sport. So I'm always going to have those memories ingrained in my in my brain. I'm always going to remember those. Like I remember the last out recorded in the 2000 World Series against the Mets. I was in my grandma's house. We was on the 3rd floor in my uncle's living room watching it, and I have family that are Met fans and Yankee fans, and we were all watching it together. Those little things, you're going to have connections for a long time. But I get it, Li. You weren't alive when that was going on. But I can share that with you. I can share my experience. I can share how I felt in the moment, just like Anna can share, just like Razel can share, just like TC, Dr. Hitskings, 19 comment. We can all share these memories that we have because we've been there. Yeah. And we share it all with each other. Like I didn't see Mickey Mantle play, but big time Jerry saw Mickey Mantle play. And Jerry tells us, we saw Mickey Mantle. This is how he played. And he shares that connection with us.
He's witnessed
Sean
a
Brown
lot
as
of
well.
championships.
Medina as well. We all share our memories together collectively with each other.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember being, let's see, I was 6 years old in 77 when they won. And me and my dad right there, just, in the living room. Oh, my God. The memories. I mean, it's just, he would just rattle off stats. He basically knew the back of baseball cards, like like by heart. It is amazing. And that's, my love of the Yankees right there. That's what it, 77, 70, even 76. I remember against the Reds, they almost won. It was just, I've witnessed a lot of good years, a lot of bad years. And we're all trying to get there, Li. We're trying. We're still fans of the team.
Li said he was born in 1998. You was in your terrible twos when the Yankees and the Mets was in the World Series together, bro.
He was in his tantaras.
There you go. You was trying to figure out if you wanted to watch Barney or Arthur. You didn't know which show you wanted to watch at the time, Li. Okay,
exactly.
But SpongeBob, Li, little it's always diapers. Love here. But going back to the topic when it comes to Hal Steinbrenner, like people said in the chat, what can we expect for him to say? Right? We were already told at the beginning of September, we were already told that the team was going to have an outside source come in and we was going to have an entire reflection and break everything down and have this massive audit. And as soon as the season was over, we didn't have game 1 of the wild card. And it came out, well, Yankee fans need to temper down their expectations when it comes to this audit, because it's just an outside organization that's going to come in and we're just going to compare notes. It's like when I have notes from Spanish class and TC has notes and we compare them and try to see whose notes are better. That's really all it is. It's just comparing notes and seeing who does it better. It's not a big reflection in the breakdown of this person's job or that person's job. It's none of that, right? So going into this press conference, what are we going to expect? He's going to bring in Kim Ang like it's a WWE like cameo, like, and just drop the bomb and she's the new assistant to Brian Cat. I don't know what to expect. TC,
I know what to expect. A lot of nothing, just lip service. He's going to say the same stuff that that Brian Cashman says, that Aaron Boone says. It's just the same rinse and repeat. We're okay. Everything's good. We're going to look at a couple of things. No changes are going to be made. We're going to, what did he say at the beginning of the year? He said, we're going to do everything it takes to be a championship caliber team again. And what did he do? Rodon, that's it.
No. He said, it's the first month of the season. What are fans upset about?
Oh yeah, that was
that
was in May or June. Yeah.
Remember that? Is like, well, a month and a half into why the fans upset? Yeah. Word. Why are we upset?
He's detached from the team, and hopefully now, like you've been saying, he's been embarrassed by the media, by just the performance, by everybody. Other owners are probably like, Hal, you got a good team there, $1 billion.
Yeah, Hal, you doing your thing, baby.
Yeah, you do. You got a lot of money, but look at the product you got. That's trash.
What gets me upset, right, is the fact that the Yankees are $1 billion entity, right? I'm not gonna even say organization. They're $1 billion entity. Hal Steinbrenner is a billionaire, right? Us little folks, right, who were thousandaires and stuff like that. We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. We can't comprehend what $1 billion look like, right? You got to understand, $1 billion is $1 million 1,000 times.
Yeah.
That's the thing. We can't comprehend what $1 billion would look like in our hands, right? But as a fan base, why are you complaining to us and crying? 100 stand up. Word, Brazil. 100 stand up. Salute.
Yeah.
But why do us who are 100 and thousandaires as a fan base have to listen to billionaires cry poverty?
Yeah.
There should be no reason that you are complaining about other teams. I get it. You want to talk about teams not spending money and their payroll and revenue sharing. You're upset about that. You want to complain about that? Cool. Do me a favor, Hal Steinbrunner. Cut a check right now to the city of New York City, to the state of New York for the taxpayer money that they gave you to build that stadium. If you want to complain about other teams taking revenue from other teams to pay their payroll, if you don't want that happening, copy. Do me a favor. That money that you got, that your family got to build Yankee Stadium, cut a check and give it back to the city. If not, shut your mouth and spend your money on your team.
Yeah. By the way, Hector, if I was a billionaire, I'd give you about 300-400 million. Just because.
Listen. All I want is a Charizard holographic card, right? It's a very rare card. That's all I want in my life. That's really all I want.
Okay.
I don't care about that.
No. I give you more than that. I give you more than that.
But TC, you understand what I'm saying, right? And I bring this up, right? You guys know I'm an econ nerd. I'm heavy into reading economics books. TC would tell you I could talk to you about that shit for hours. But when it comes to the Yankees, Yankee Stadium is under the Parks Department, right? The field is under the Parks Department, which means if there's any maintenance that happens to the field, the Yankees don't pay the bill. New York City Parks Department pays the bill. How? If you want to get petty, we can get petty. If you want to complain about other teams not spending their money properly, we could start getting petty.
Right. But Hector, didn't you do a while back? Didn't you do a breakdown of how much the Yankees actually made? 600 something million.
And that was last season. That was just on last season.
Right.
That was just on last season.
And they're crying that they don't have enough money. They don't want to go over a luxury tax. That's yeah.
But you know what they're doing with their money? You know what they're doing?
New York.
They're investing into fucking pickleball. That's what they're doing with their money.
Okay.
Right?
And they'll be happy about that.
They decided to invest into a pickleball tournament that ain't gonna go nowhere.
Wow.
That's what they invested their money into.
I think they're better at pickleball than they are at baseball.
Not on the organization, not on the roster, not on the players to win a championship. You invested into pickleball.
Wow.
Anna Marie, I definitely would drool over your Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh collection. All right. I definitely would. I actually have the PS1 console that came out over the past few years, and I have a flash drive that had me the Yu-Gi-Oh. Anywho, let's get back into this. Anywho, 19 comment says paddle and racquetball. Yes. So how, Randy Levine, if you guys want to get petty and start pointing out other people not spending their money properly, guess what? I got receipts, my guy. You want me to start doing that? I can start doing that too.
Yeah, I would bring it out. Can you get on WFAN and
reason
do that?
Yeah, I'll probably get assassinated if I do. There should be no reason why the Yankees, who is evaluated at $8 billion, should be crying and complaining that other teams aren't spending their money and they're using revenue sharings to pay their payroll. How about this? How in the New York Yankees, why don't you let any of your workers that work at the concession stand, why don't you let them unionize? Why don't you let them negotiate better salaries for them? You want to start talking? I can start talking.
Oh, yeah. Hector could talk.
let's start the open panel before
let's calm down a little bit. Let's bring it back in. All love here, all love.
Exactly. So I'm gonna put the link for the open panel in the chat. Like always, everyone is welcome to jump on the open panel, but you all got to remember, let's be respectful to one another. If somebody is in the middle of giving their take, let them finish, because the same time will be given to you so you can finish your take as well. Let's be respectful to the terms and services for YouTube, for Facebook, and for Twitter. Let's not go out of pocket and try to become the next Kurt Schilling, talking about someone who's a dick.
Yeah,
Kurt Schilling.
We usually don't have to worry about it. This chat is very professional, very respectful. So we appreciate that, guys. We appreciate it.
No, that's the thing. That's why this community, I feel like you said, it's a tight-knit family. Feel me? No one is disrespectful. We all care about each other, and we all want to hear each other's takes. MySpace is the black thing. Listen, I remember in high school, MySpace teaching me how to code, because I was trying to get the perfect background with the music playing and everything. You know, shout out to my guy Billy Branch in the building.
AOL chat.
Billy, how you doing? Yeah, I remember the AOL chat. My sister still has an AOL email, which is crazy. People that still got an AOL email, I think on the same level as people that still have that Blockbuster membership card. I look at you guys very weird. You guys are psychopaths. Like, get rid of it. Just get rid of it. Billy Brand says, I get the Yankees can't spend as if they're printing money in the basement of Yankee Stadium, but they don't have
Billy Branch
in order to improve the team. 100%, Billy. 100%. Dr. Hitskins says, appreciate you guys solid. Nah, Dr. Hitskins, I appreciate you, my guy. Appreciate everybody in the chat that tune in and support us whenever we
Tats,
are
you're professional.
live. Nah, Tats, you better get up here. I'm going to put the link in the chat again, just in case if anybody want to jump on the open panel, you are more than welcome to jump on the open panel. Now, that's Grandpa Uncle Tats right there.
Yep. Miss talking to him, man. That was a great time meeting you guys. That was awesome.
Oh man, that was an awesome time. Let's see. Razil said, if you like pickles, doesn't that mean you like cucumbers? Yeah, I was like 20. I was like, I think 22 or 23 years old when I found out that pickles are just pickled cucumbers. Like I had no idea. I was working at a restaurant and they were showing me like, yeah, this is our pickled items. We got pickled onions. We got pickled pickles. I was like, pickled cucumbers. I was like, what do you mean? Like pickles or cucumbers? I had no idea.
Yeah. Blew your mind, huh?
Let's see what else we got in the chat. Razil says the facial hair policy is fine as long as you're winning, but acting like we are the Miami Marlins strap for cash is a slap in all of our faces. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. Oh, my guy Scott said, good-ish, fellas. I'm out. Scott, I appreciate you, Scott. Thanks for jumping into the chat.
Yeah, thanks for all the drops there. Good knowledge.
Yeah, but I want to ask you real quick about the facial policy, and people in the chat, let me know. Personally, me, you could tell because of my beard or whatever like that. I think the facial policy is a bit overboard. Appreciate you. I took a bath yesterday. I think the facial hair policy is a little bit overboard, but
yeah,
you know, I get it, right? I've had jobs that I've had to shave my face in order to work. Like I worked in restaurants. Like I said, I worked in fine dining. When I was an EMT working for the company I worked for, they had a shave, right? The reason we had to shave while as an EMT, because if we put that mask on, we had to create a perfect seal on that mask, right? So we had someone, my chief at the time, he had a beard. He went into the back of the ambulance. It wasn't a perfect seal. He caught tuberculosis and has TB for the rest of his life. So that was why, and I get it. I understood it was because of safety concerns at the workplace. So I get it. I saved. But coming outside, once I stopped working there, I wasn't shaving no more. I was growing my thing out. Let's see what else in the chat that we have.
I don't know. I think if going back on the hair policy, I think if they kept it like how you have it, you know, nice and clean, not the long, you know, like crazy Johnny Damon beard he had back in the Red Sox days. I think, I mean, they allow mustaches. I mean, that's the facial hair. So why not, you know, if the guy wants to grow out a beard, you know, a little 5 o'clock shadow or, you know, why not?
I'm not going to lie. It would take me a while to get used to. Bless you. It would take me a while to get used to, just because every time I've watched this team, I've seen players clean shaven, right? So it's going to take me a while. But like you said, as long as it's clean cut, as long as it's respectable, you're not out here looking like Brandon Marsh with the Phillies,
No,
who
I'm
look
not
like
talking about that. Yeah.
he got donuts and pizza in his beard with a Philly cheesesteak that he had from 2 weeks ago.
That's
what I that's what I don't. Yeah, that's what I don't want to see.
We'll just put a picture of you, Hector Beard, right here. That's
it, baby.
acceptable.
That's it. As long as it's clean, that's all it is. So we got somebody backstage. I'm gonna bring up my guy NFE to join the conversation.
All right,
NFE, I'm gonna bring you up. Just give me a second. I just have to transition to the open panel. One sec.
Yeah, you're right, Anna. Hobo. That's what he looks like. Duck Dynasty, right? Marsh is a Duck Dynasty guy.
Yeah, definitely is. My guy NFE, what it do, baby?
What's up, brother?
What's up, guys?
Chilling, bro. How you feeling, my guy?
He's picking up Soto again. I thought you picked him up the other day.
There you go.
I got to make multiple trips, man. These types of conversations take a little longer, so I got to continue negotiating.
Yeah. But NFE, you've been listening to the conversation. I'm gonna throw it to you. Whatever topic you want to start off with, whether that be Hal Steinbrenner, whether that be Alex Rodriguez or Reggie Jackson. Go ahead, brother. The floor is yours.
As far as Hal goes, I mean, who knows what he's going to talk about? Hopefully, it's something worthwhile. But from the sounds of it, it doesn't sound like anything could be worthwhile as far as what he has to say. Maybe, like I was saying, maybe he talks about the price increase on the chicken tenders, possibly. Who knows? But
they already expect. He already rose the price for them. Last year they were $20. This year it was $22.70 something, bro. What are you doing, Hal?
Hey, now he's gonna raise it to 25. So just wait.
Baloney. But what's your thoughts on Reggie Jackson? Because I saw you put something in the chat earlier. I wasn't able to highlight the comment, but speak on the Reggie Jackson stuff.
No, it's all good. My thing with Reggie Jackson is this. Look, I'm all for calling out an organization if they're not willing to listen to other people's advice or listen to other people's input. I mean, you're not when you do that, you're basically closed-minded. And Reggie Jackson is a legend in the sport. I mean, he was the legend in the game. He was Mr. October. The guy knows what he's talking about. I have no problems with him as a player, but he was also very egotistical himself, though. I mean, the guy had an ego problem as well. So, there's something to be said there. But I guess the other question is, why is he coming out and saying it now rather than back then? Why are we talking about this now, man?
I personally, I think, and I may just be looking into it. I'm putting my tinfoil hat on, but because of what came out over the weekend with A-Rod. A-Rod was addressing some stuff on WFAN this Friday that passed, talking about how he is very critical of the Yankees and the Yankees don't like that. And I think Reggie Jackson, he took that as his opportunity. Cool. I'm a piggyback of what you said and said that the Yankees do not respect their legends, right? Their voices aren't heard. And he specifically brought up Derek Jeter and A-Rod. He didn't bring up anyone else. He said Pettit loves the Yankees. All these, but he was like, A-Rod and Jeter loves the Yankees and their voices aren't listened to. And there's a reason why he brought up those two voices. Us as a fan base, we've been saying for the longest, we want Jeter to be in charge. We want Jeter to be up there. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. But I think Reggie Jackson, he may be old, but he ain't senile, right? He not dementia, right? So he knows what he's doing. He's purposely doing it. It's just like Jeter. When Jeter said that at the All-Star game, that Juan Soto should be a Yankee. Jeter's not just saying that just to say that. He's saying that to put the fire on the Cashman's ass.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Hey, listen, I'm all for it. And as far as the A-Rod situation goes, I'm probably gonna get a lot of heat for this one, but I could care less. I don't really care for the number 13 not being retired. I'll be honest. I'm not saying A-Rod is a bad player. I mean, he contributed to the Yankees. He did, but he also didn't do himself any favors either. So, the whole when that whole steroid allegation came out, and he decides he wants to throw other people under the bus. He tried suing the Yankees. It's like, did you do yourself any favors to have your number retired? No. And that's a thing to talk about. When we're talking about retiring numbers, what is it? What is the standard, or what does it take for a number to be retired, other than being a good player? I feel like there should be a set of rules for that.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
No, listen, that's a solid take. I can't disagree with that. Go ahead, TC.
Yeah, it's also how you carry yourself on and off the field as well. I mean, that's
Right.
to me that means a lot. And A-Rod, as much as he contributed on the field, I don't know. There's a lot of it's tainted. His Yankee career is a little bit tainted, and I don't think he lives up to being having his number retired. Yeah. I mean, if I want to compare A-Rod to a Bernie Williams or a Don Mattingly or a Derek Jeter, it doesn't. He doesn't match up. It's I don't put him in the same sentence. Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. A-Rod's a Hall of Famer, but to me, he's not. He doesn't deserve his number retired with the Yankees. Sorry.
It's. Go ahead, and if you go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
No, real quick, I was just gonna say, because I was thinking about this yesterday with the whole A-Rod retirement number thing, because this was something that Tats and we talked about on the Friday morning show. I co-hosted with Tats, which shout out to Tats.
Nice, shout out to
Tats. Very nice.
Yeah, so if you guys want to check that out, go feel free, please.
Is an ongoing thing? You're going to be the co-host?
I don't. Tats said he'll bring me back on. I don't know when again, but I would love to do it again.
Yeah.
So I had fun.
That's dope.
I had fun doing it. So,
yeah, that's dope.
That's awesome.
And this is I just want to say this real quick. This is why I do the open panels, right? Like because open panels was something that I got into back in 2020, and that gave me I shouldn't say courage, but it made me comfortable enough to start my own YouTube channel and start my own show, right? So that's why I do the open panels, so that NFE can come up, so Unpopular Geo, so anyone can come up to the open panel and get comfortable with jumping on and co-hosting with other Yankee content creators.
That's how I'm here.
NFE.
For sure. And Hector, I do appreciate you doing these open panels, because it gives guys like me an opportunity to jump on and just express what I feel. So and I like being on this channel. So you guys are
appreciate
awesome.
You, bro. Appreciate
you, NFE.
So about the whole A-Rod, I was thinking about yesterday, and you guys can answer this question, and people in the chat too. Do you guys think A-Rod joined the Yankees because he wanted to contribute to the team and he wanted to be a Yankee, or did he join for publicity and for his own selfish reasons?
I think it was publicity. He wanted to get the stardom, right? You wasn't getting that in Texas. That's why in that same interview on WFAN, he talked about how he wanted to be with the Mets. He wanted to sign with the Mets. And granted, I can't take A-Rod on his word, but he said he told his agent Scott Boras that he wanted to sign for 50% of what he was getting offered out there. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, right? It's hard to take A-Rod at his word. But I'm gonna just say this, and I got one more person in the panel, behind the scenes, that I want to bring up. A-Rod, when he went on the Mike Francesa show, when all this was going on with A-Rod, I was standing by him. I was a solid soldier, hoping that none of this was true. He went on Mike Francesa. He said no, literally lied in front of Mike, to his face, Mike Francesa, and then it came out 2 days later that he wasn't telling the truth, that he actually admitted to it, right? So when it comes to A-Rod, I have a very weird relationship, because when I was in high school, A-Rod was that Yankee that I used to love. Yes, Jeter was already there. Bernie Williams already won championship. But being invested in high school, as you get older, you're more subconscious when you're viewing it, right? You're more engaged to it. So 2005, when he won an MVP, I was excited when I was in high school. And then as I gotten older, and that whole situation came out when he got suspended and going to the fan and lying to Mike Francis. Listen, A-Rod's PR department, NFE, I'm not sure if you guys know this, they got random people from, like, random Dominicans from Washington Heights and Inwood, put them in dollar vans, brought them down to the MLB office, and they had signs that you could tell was written by the same intern, because it was the same marker and the same writing style that said, "We stand with Alex. Alex is telling the truth. Free Alex Rodriguez." That was his PR department to do that. So for me, that was a smack in the face for us loyal New Yorkers. That's all for me.
For sure. And hey, I'm with you, Hector. I was in high school too when they made that trade to get A-Rod. And I mean, I was excited. I'm not gonna lie, I was excited to have A-Rod and Jeter on the same team. But you know, as hindsight's 2020, as we look at it now, I mean, I in a way, I wish they didn't get him personally.
Yeah.
So you know, it is what it is.
Hindsight,
I mean,
50-50,
you know, stuff happens. So
yeah. But hold on right there before we go. I got my guy Chris the Flash backstage. Chris, let me get a thumbs up to make so I can know that you're ready to go. My guy Chris gave me the thumbs up. Chris the Flash is in the building. Chris, how you doing, my guy? It's been a minute.
What's up, y'all? I know.
Hope all is well, bro. I see you got the beard in full effect. You're looking like me from a couple of years ago,
there you
bro.
go.
Yeah, but look, the difference is I ain't got stuff in my beard like pizza and stuff like that. I'm good on that.
All right, as long as you're clean, that's all that matters. That was gonna be my second question, bro.
But
man, same thing. I wanted Vlad, not A-Rod, 100%. 100% on that.
I wanted to say this about the A-Rod situation. Like, he shouldn't have his jersey retired, but I feel like nobody should be wearing his jersey unless you put up the stats. Like Joey Gallo shouldn't have been wearing his jersey.
I agree.
That's the way I feel about it. Like, I'm not saying he should. Yes, he's a douchebag and this and that, but the numbers he put up, like, you gotta at least respect him in that aspect. But as a person,
good point.
I could see why people don't want his jersey, retired. But I know I brought this up in the chat about the jersey stuff. But I was thinking, like I said, like y'all said, Judge and Garrett Cole. But I know my boy CC got to get his jersey retired too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad if CC got his number retired. I would not be mad about that. What about you, NFE? If CC got his number retired,
I'd welcome it. I would most definitely welcome that. CC was the definition of a Yankee. Like, he loved being a Yankee player. That guy was the definition of a Yankee, more so than I can say about A-Rod. You know, I think CC represented that jersey well.
Yeah. And then CC also not only on the field, but in that dugout, he was a leader, bro. Like, he got the Yankees starting pitchers to be like, you know what, we're going to switch things up. We're all going to go to the bullpen while the starter's warming up, just so we can give that starter a little bit more confidence. That was CC who did that. That right there goes to show you that he was a team first type of guy.
Facts.
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, not to mention, man, if one of the guys on the team got drilled.
No, go ahead, NFE. Go ahead.
Sorry.
My fault. Go ahead. No, go ahead, bro.
Oh, my fault. I thought you were in the middle of something. I was just gonna say, CC had his team's back, man. If one of his teammates got hit or drilled, man, he was the first one out of the dugout ready to fight. That was something I loved about him.
I mean, and he helped. He helped bring Garrett Cole up here too. People keep forgetting about that. He talked to Cole and he said, Cole's meant to be a Yankee.
Yeah, CC is a West Coast guy too that wanted to go to the West Coast, and everybody was saying he was going to go to the West Coast, but not like that. My fault. Just looking up for his numbers. While CC was with the Yankees, CC Sabathia, he led the American League in wins in 2009, 2010. 2009, he had 19 wins. He was the last Yankee with 21 wins in a season. 2011, he won 19 games, and 15, 14, and then he had his issues with his health, and he came back in 2017 and won 14 games. So for me, CC definitely deserves. If he doesn't get his number retired, he definitely deserves to have a CC Sabathia day and just be acknowledged, just like Brett Gardner as well, because CC was a heart and soul for those Yankees in the mid 2010s.
Oh, definitely. And when he had his when he had his health issues, I mean, that he overcame that. I mean, to overcome that type of adversity is always a good look on an athlete. So
and like Sean Brown has said, he risked 50,000. I think it was 100,000 or 50,000. That bonus for defending his teammates. You gotta love that.
I thought it was 500,000.
Oh, 500,000? I thought it was 100,000. But even if it was 500,000, the Yankees still gave it to him. They definitely still gave it to him. They still gave him that bonus. But I got two more people I want to bring up to the open panel. We got Uncle Grandpa Tats and our guy Jonathan in the building. How you fellas doing?
That's right. Here they are.
Tats,
What's up,
just
Tats?
muted.
What's up, Jonathan?
What's up, Tats? Hey,
Tats,
Jonathan.
you're muted, Tats. Yeah, Uncle Tats is muted. There you
My
go.
bad.
There we go.
All good. All good. All good.
Uncle,
Uncle Tats, I'm surprised you're still awake, bro. What time you guys were rocking till
I'm
last night?
barely awake. I got to sleep around 2:00, and then I was up at 7.
Nice. Well, Tats, glad to have you here. Jonathan as well. I'm gonna throw it over to you, Tats. You've been listening to the conversation. Pick whatever topic you want to talk about and shoot the shits. Go ahead, Tats.
Well, first off, NFE is the show he and I did was just fire.
Mhm.
Yeah, he really is. He's legit. He should have his own show by now.
Mhm.
But no, with the retired numbers, I'll tease this. All right, because NFE and I, we've been talking, and we are planning on doing. We're going to do our own. We're going to do a show where we talk about what our criteria is. So I'm throwing the invitation to you, Hector.
Okay.
And TC. You guys got to be involved with that.
All right. Let me know. I'm there.
So
Okay.
we're going to set that up. So I'll throw that out there. So now that it's public, you can't say no. But the whole thing with A-Rod, it was the off the field nonsense that he threw towards the Yankees and MLB and just the
Mess around with J-Lo.
organization.
Whoa.
I can't retire his number because of that. So I think the retired numbers, it gets out of control. Everybody thinks that number should be retired. I mean, that's the goal. It's having your number retired as a Yankee and making the Hall of Fame. Those are the two things that immortalize a player. There has to be a strict code to have that honor. I don't think A-Rod meets that. Was he a great Yankee? Absolutely. Nobody can take his accolades away from him. But there is the shade towards it. So that's why I kind of shy away from wanting his number retired.
Yeah, no, I get it, and it's warranted, right, Tats? Like everything you said. Because what was that famous line? The man from Milwaukee didn't want to come down to meet with me. Talking about Bug Selig at the time. Come on, bro. And then talking about Manfred as well. Man, Jonathan, throw it over to you. Same thing going your way.
About the number retired, if you think about it, with the exception of Thurman Munson, before 1980, everybody who had their number retired was a Yankee Hall of Famer.
Yep.
True.
It started with Thurman Munson because, of course, the tragedy. Roger Maris was the second one in 85 and Billy Martin in 88. And why did Billy Martin get his number retired? That's a number I don't think should have been retired. Why? Do you think Billy Martin should have had his number retired?
He had a great career.
He had a great career, but at the same time, he had basically an attitude similar to a bad attitude that had the Yankees trade him because he was a bad influence on Mickey Mantle.
I would say there was other things that were bad influences on Mickey Mantle. I think the Yankees.
But,
I don't think the Yankees did a good job bringing a kid from a town that probably had 2,000 people at the max to New York City with the lights and 42nd Streets and all the partying. I don't think the Yankees did a good job of that.
If Mickey Mantle had today's mindset, he probably would have had a much better career and not been drinking it so much.
Oh, but also too, it comes from
they
Mickey
all drank
Mantle,
back then.
If you watch Mickey Mantle or read anything about his family, he comes from a family that his father and his father's family, they worked in the coal mines, right? So these were guys that that worked in the coal mines 12 to 14 hours out of the day.
But I think he had the mindset that he was going to die at a young age, so he just lived like he was going to die all the time.
Because everybody in his family died at 40 years old because of the coal mine that
they were working in a bad coal mine with bad conditions and no filter. They didn't have filters back then in the mine.
Yeah. No, I see you when you come for that. But NFE, I want to throw it over to you. Now that the Houston Astros have been eliminated, now we got the open panel. Now it's time to shit on the Astros. So we're going to take this time to shit on the Houston Astros, Jose Altuve, Alex Bregman, Christian Javier, and Justin Verlander as well. NFE, throw it over to you. What's your thoughts on the playoffs at the moment and seeing the Astros get handed in Game 7?
First off, the Astros being eliminated, that made my night. So that was a great way to end a Monday. As far as the playoffs go, these playoffs have been exciting. What I like most about these playoffs is that you know, you're going to have 2 wild card teams in the World Series. That's what I like.
Yep.
That's what's going to be fun. So, tonight, as far as, if it's the Phillies winning or the D-backs, I mean, I'm okay with either one. I'm cool with either one. I just know that either one of those teams that wins and plays against Texas, it's going to be a fun World Series. And I could see the Diamondbacks taking it. I kind of said this a few times. The Diamondbacks strike me as the 2003 Florida Marlins, just a very young, dynamic team.
That's a great comparison.
Yeah.
That's a great comparison right there.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the Diamondbacks just pull some, cat out of the hat trick and go all the way. Like I could see it. I mean, I could be wrong, but I can see it. So these playoffs have been exciting. It's been very back and forth.
Agree.
It's been a lot of surprises. It goes to show that the playoffs are not, nothing is guaranteed. Anything is possible. That's baseball playoffs. There's little room for error, and you gotta play the game smart. It's a different mentality in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. And like my guy Joey G in the chat says, the Yankee fans need the Phillies to win it all. Also, the Phillies versus Rangers will be better in general. That series will have everyone the Yankees said weren't realistic or just completely passed on. Joe, you hit it right on the head, my guy.
Yeah.
Chris the Flash, throw it over to you. When it comes to the postseason and the Astros, what's your thoughts? And then throw it to Tash, throw it to Jonathan, and then we throw it to TC Stills, and we got to get ready to wrap it up. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited for Texas. I'm happy for Jordan Montgomery. I mean, I'm betting you that he's laughing in the mirror saying, "Oh, I'm not a postseason pitcher, huh?"
Mm-hmm.
Philly, I kind of hope Philly wins the whole thing because I feel like Bryce Harper's due for a ring. I mean, he almost had one with the Nationals, but of course they win one when he's gone.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that I don't have to hear about this dynasty crap. Like, I'm sorry, Houston, go beat your trash cans back home. You're sitting home with us. Enjoy your popcorn. Watch the World Series with us. And I don't know.
Bang, bang.
I don't know if it's true. Yeah, I don't know if it's true, but this is Dusty Baker's last year?
That's what it looks like after yesterday. That's what the rumors have been. Shut up. Go ahead, Chris.
But yeah. So I mean, I don't know. Whoever fills them shoes, boy, be prepared. And I feel like now that the players are getting older, I just think Houston's window just going down now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, 100%. Uncle Tats, same question going your way. What's your thoughts on the postseason right now, and what do you expect for the World Series? And then throw it over to Jonathan.
One, I'm glad that it's not the Astros. At this point, I don't care who wins it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just glad that the Astros don't even have a chance. I did not want to see them in the World Series. If it, the Rangers against the Diamondbacks or the Phillies. If it's the Diamondbacks, I think the Rangers would take it. I just think they have that mojo, and the Diamondbacks are still. I mean, they're really showing. They're performing the way I thought the Orioles would have. Yeah, I thought this is the way the Orioles were going to come into the postseason, with just kind of that, that loose, we're already a success type of season, like the Yankees had in 17. Without the expectations, if it's the Phillies and the Rangers, I mean that's going 7 games. 7 days a week. It's just one of those matchups. It's going to be a battle. I do want to see Harper get his ring though. He's been so good to the game. He really deserves it. But I also want to see Monty perform well because I've always been a Monty fan. I had him labeled as the next Andy Pettit, and the Yankees gave up on him. So I want to see Monty continue to perform well in the postseason, and really just kind of give Cashman a little middle finger.
Mm-hmm. Jonathan, same question going your way, and let's throw it over to TC before I acknowledge LI Yankee King in the chat with another dumb comment. Go ahead, Jonathan.
I think it's going to be a tough World Series, but at the end of the day, I believe the Phillies will win it out in the 7 games. But the Rangers showed with the game I saw last night. The Rangers showed a constant. It's going to be a real back and forth, and I don't expect any blowouts in any game of the World Series. Even if it's a high-scoring game, I expect both teams to be high-scoring games. Or if it's a low-scoring game, I expect both teams to be a low-scoring game. I don't expect a 10-1 win by any team.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right, solid one. TC, want to get your take before we get ready to close it out?
Yeah, well, yesterday was my birthday, and I wanted my wish was for the Astros to get beat down. So thank you guys. Thank you.
That's
but
a great
I got my wish.
A great birthday present.
That was a great birthday present, and didn't expect that a beat down, but it was great to see. And I wanted them to focus on Justin Verlander because of all the antics he was doing, in that Game 5 when they won, and I just wanted to just get in there. I want to see his face. He's devastated, and I loved seeing all the fans leaving, and them winning in Houston was just icing on the cake. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
You got to look out for them. I think that they can score runs, and I don't know, Jonathan. I think I have to disagree with you. I think the Rangers could put up big numbers. I didn't expect them to kill Houston, but they put up 10, 11 runs.
The Astros to bring back the trash cans next year.
Yeah, they're gonna bring back something next year.
But I do hope it's Phillies. I hope it's the Phillies Rangers. That'd be a great World Series. Exciting, a lot of star power, with Harper and then Adolis Garcia. Oh my goodness, that guy he's the next. He's doing a Rosarena type things like what Tampa did a couple years ago, and just phenomenal. And their lineup, the Rangers lineup, is deadly up and down. And I'm glad for Jordan Montgomery. I'm glad for Evaldi. Chapman, somewhat, but it's good to see. It's going to be good to see all these guys that the Yankees did have, a chance to keep, or Robbie Thompson with the Phillies. I mean, it goes to show you they leave the Yankees and look at what they're in the World Series, and good for the Rangers. Good for the Rangers.
Here's another question: why do you think everybody who has left the Yankees has improved on another team?
Coaching. Comes down to coaching.
Yeah.
The
philosophies.
Yeah. Is the problem Aaron Boone?
Not that, but Aaron Boone's not the only coach.
No, not Aaron Boone.
But he's not the only coach.
It's the whole front office philosophy.
Yeah, if the analytics department keeps telling Aaron Hicks, you got to go for an uppercut swing, he going to go for an uppercut swing. But if he goes to Baltimore and Baltimore tells him that, no, you need a more level swing and spread the ball around, that's why he looks better. Same thing with Jordan Montgomery.
That's one thing Don Mattingly did great. Don Mattingly was all hit to all fields. The Yankees have to learn how to hit to the opposite field again. They can't rely on
That's why the Yankees, they need to get rid of that analytic department that keeps telling people try to hit the ball hard instead of just getting on base by any means necessary. That's why the Yankees have a philosophy issue.
That's one thing they really lost when Gene Michael died.
Yeah. Yeah, they have no face when it comes to the philosophy.
Ruined this team.
The analytics and it's not the analytics have ruined this team.
How they're using it.
It's the people that they hired. It's the people that they hired in the analytics department that's ruining this team. Because when you look at analytics, the Texas Rangers use analytics. The Phillies use analytics. The Dodgers, every team that's in the postseason uses analytics. It's just they hired the right people to implement the stuff. They hired the right coaches to take that data and put it into practice.
Then, unless the Yankees get someone who can read the data accurately, they will continue to have 500 plus seasons instead of 600.
Yeah, that's true.
Seasons.
Unfortunately, as of now, that is what it is. But for me, I just want to point out one thing when it comes to the Astros, and I'm not happy that the Houston Astros, the team, got eliminated. I'm happy that the fan base got to shut the fuck up. Right.
Mhm.
That's
Straight up.
this right here, right? It's not me. Yes, we haven't beat the Astros like Li said in the chat and other people said in the chat, but we shut up. Not we. The Texas Rangers shut up the fan base of the Houston Astros because 6 years ago, the Houston Astros, they have no fan base. There were hardly any people repping the Houston Astros.
Yeah, they were losing 100 games a year.
6 to 7 to 8 years, you got these random ass people coming out of nowhere saying that they're Houston Astros fans, but they didn't even know that the Astros played in the National League at one time, right? This is what I'm upset about, right? But if I could have had it my way, I know this may not be a very popular opinion, I would have rather the Astros win the World Series for one reason and one reason alone. I want my team to be the one that eliminate them when they're on their top.
Yeah.
When they're on when they're number one, I want my team to knock them off the throne. I wanted my New York Yankees to beat them in the ALCS and go to the World Series. I didn't want to have to see another team do it. So the only reason why I wanted the Astros to like make it to the World Series and win is because I wanted my team to knock them down off their high horse, not the Texas Rangers, not the Phillies in the World Series. I wanted my team to do that. That's the only thing I got to say when it comes to that.
I mean, that could be a double-edged sword. I don't mean to interrupt, because the last thing we also want to hear is a narrative of, you know, let's just, I'll call it, you know, Evan Roberts saying how, you know, that the Astros are a better dynasty than the Yankees in the 90s. But I mean, I lost my mind. I almost
of course it would be a Met fan to say that. It would be a Met fan and a Jet fan to say that.
There's only one troll that we acknowledge, and that's Li.
And that's Li. That's the only one that gets acknowledgement.
Yeah, it's
barely.
You were saying how, you know, the Astros have all these new fans. When the Astros won their when they won in 2017, when they beat us, and they were all talking their trash and whatever, I said, half of you can't even spell Biggio. Never mind know who he played for. You know, you had all these fans coming out of the woodwork. I'm like, who the hell are you guys? Where have you been? You know, so it's true. That part of it is true. There were a lot of fake fans, and the bandwagon just kept, you know, adding carrots.
Kept building.
And you can't trash talk the Yankee fans.
Can I say this too?
We've been in the trenches for years.
Yeah, definitely. Chris, go ahead. Yeah, I'm gonna throw it over to you, Chris. We got to get ready to wrap it up. Go ahead, brother.
Now it makes sense why they were beating the trash cans. They were getting the fans out.
That's what it was. That's what it was, Chris. But guys,
we missed you, Chris.
Yeah, we definitely did, Chris. I miss you, bro. I miss you. Glad to see you back on the panel, my guy. It's been a minute, but appreciate everybody that was in the chat. Appreciate my guy NFE. Appreciate my guy Christopher Flans for jumping on. It's been a minute. My guy Jonathan, of course, Uncle Grandpa Tats, and my co-host Mr. TC Stills. Shout out to everybody that was in the chat: Dr. Hitsking, Sean Browning, Dan C, Anna Marie, Anthony Medina, my guy Ness, the baseball guy. I forgot to shout out my guy Ness. Appreciate you. Li Yankee King, Razil the Great, Dan C, Dev Fitch. Who else was in here? Anthony Garcia, Anthony Medina, Ella Yankee King, Big Time Jerry. If I didn't say your name, I apologize. 19 Con, Jake L. We appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. Like always, smack that like button, hit the subscribe, and come back Thursday. Go ahead, Chris.
I was about to say, if y'all want to see me anytime, the chat or anything, I want to promote a channel. Go ahead. BX Kev Jedi. You know, he put me on when I first started. I know most people do know who he is. He does a lot of watch alongs when it comes to Yankee baseball. I just wanted to promote his channel.
Yeah, no, shout out to my guy BX Sports Jedi. I was doing stuff with him when I first started, right? When we was doing the Knicks stuff. I know he works in the daytime, so it's hard for him to jump on the open panels when I have them. But shout out to my guy Kev for BX Jedi. Appreciate all of you guys in the chat. Make sure you guys subscribe to Uncle Tats. Make sure you guys subscribe to NYY Underground. My guy Joe from The Shift. My guy Jason for 161. But like always, I love you guys. Deuces.